sense that a lot is happening. People are getting caught out. That is what these comps are meant to do. Yep. And that's exactly what they did. One more thing I want to throw out there. Reignover was 14-0 this split on Rek'Sai coming into this game. So TSM being the first team to hand him a loss on that champion. Biofrost 6-0 on Bard. Bjergsen 5-0 on Zilean coming into this game on those respective champions. So, I mean, a lot of power and a lot of experience across all of these champions. On Bard. Bjergsen 5-0 on Zilean coming into this game. Four massive replays. Our first of which, though, are a triple X return of Xander's replay. This is going to come.
Yes, 我终于搞定了。
It's the very first big fight around this Infernal Drake. TSM coming out on top.
可是我刚好调一个解析度的地方在哪里？
got taken down right at the start, but Reignover was chunked out so low. They do push forward onto Haunter. He's able to be revived by Bjergsen, and this is at this point it was looking so bad. But Kobelter moves too far forward. He gets caught there by Svenskeren. He's deleted right. But still, Huni's at full health. This is a very powerful gangplank. You know, Double Lift and Bjergsen are one hit away from dying, so it's still not be a mortal fight.
我这个球会太大声了，我没有调音了。哦，终于搞定了，终于搞定了。
We were able to see Huni drop that ultimate. Everyone's super low. They actually aren't able to finish anyone off. So as Huni sticks around, Reignover was looking for the flank, and TSM makes a really smart call to just collapse on one side. You don't wait to get pincered. You finish anyone off. So and they're able to stick around. Reignover was looking for the flank, and TSM makes a really smart call to just collapse on one side. The 4 kills.
好 ，OK， 好，确定应该是没有问题。哦 ，miss 掉第一场了啦！烦死了，在那边调东西，调一调 ，miss 掉第一场，受不了哎。 在那边一直调，不知道到底要怎么用，现在终于知道了。耶！欢迎大家来到我的第一次 YouTube 直，不是，对 YouTube 直播，耶！好，其实我看不到字。OK， 好，我自己的画面应该没有错，好，没问题。太好了。
calm in this first victory and just push forward smartly. But I do want to dive into our next replay. 28 minutes into the game, Immortals picking off Svenskeren and Double Lift. Going to get the Baron on the back end of this one, so stabbing back.
Right, and it starts off with the Jhin ult slowing them down, and this is kind of how their comp has to engage, and they try and get on Sven, and the thing that you don't see is on the backside, Huni just deletes Double Lift, instantly dead. As soon as they take out the Ashe, which is really one of the main damage threats for TSM's comp, it's a lot of tank and support and engage. Once that Ashe is down, the fight's relatively easy for Immortals to win, so having that engage with the Jhin starting and having Huni be able to get behind for a flank, which is actually kind of rare to see on a GP, once he got that one shot, it was done.
Yeah, many times we saw Immortals using the poke, the power of the poke from GP.
哦，就是这个系列赛是我最期待的，就是 TSM 跟 Immortal 打，然后现在两边都是好像15胜1败吧，就是只输了一场。然后第一场真的蛮精彩的，我是加减看，因为我是想要看，然后就是怎么讲？等一下，我现在脑袋有点空白，有点累。对，就是因为我在那边，哇，这个草光真漂亮。哇，弄到我痘痘好痛啊，痛死了！哦，好痛。 我刚刚讲什么？嘿，我刚这对，然后我刚第一场就加减看完，因为我一直在弄这直播的东西啊，刚刚一直没成功这样子。然后一直在弄直播东西，然后现在终于成功，那也错过第一场，不过第一场就还蛮精彩的。 嘿，昨天可以看到 TSM 第一场赢了。那我之后还是会出，就是就再重新看之后，就从头讲到尾的比赛。
TSM is a team that will actually punish them for that, whereas some of the lower tier teams don't capitalize on the mistakes by Immortals. This takes us to our game-ending fight, a 4-0 victory by TSM that's going to allow them to push down the base on the back end of a secured.
这边超屌的，你看是巴龙还是这个远古巨龙杯。 还是被 Immortal 拿，然后他们也刚吃下这个巴龙，然后看这个团战怎么办。
Immortal's just in a bad spot. Turtle's trapped in the pit. They're able to get onto him.
Crucially, Huni auto attacks Svenskeren to pop the Zilean ult.
那个
it was actually, and that's
就是人马被吉林掏伤大绝，完全没有人想打人马，就人马就一直身上扛上炸弹，粘着那个 Wild Turtle， 然后 Wild Turtle 就爆。
half second, if not less. He autos him, gives him the reset anyway, so he got so much damage in. They trapped themselves into this, and when they were setting up this play, to me, I thought it makes sense. You know, go to the Baron, get out the TP, back out, look for a fight. Instead, they trap themselves in the Baron against a heavy AoE team. Bjergsen lands the ultimate, he lands the bombs, and there's no chance for them to win that fight from that positioning.
I think it's also a little bit of false sense of like empowerment where they got the Elder Dragon, but they had no dragons at that point in the game, I think. So the burn increase that you're getting is really not that significant when you're going against so many tanks, because they were hitting Sven and Hanser for a large portion of that fight because, you know, Sven jumps the wall trying to steal the Baron.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting that much extra fight power from the Elder Dragon.
Well, we have to remember that on the other side of the map, TSM had secured 3 Infernal Dragons. And at this stage of the game, that 24% is actually a significant amount of AP and AD as long as those 2 main damage dealers are alive. Player of the game going to Bjergsen on that Zilean, 3, 0, and 12. Huge ultimates now after we saw Jensen play Zilean into Malzahar. A few other teams picking that up as kind of the counter, building enough health with that Roa first to live through the burst of Malzahar yourself and then provide that same safety to the rest of the team.
I mean, a lot of those fights you saw were one off the back of if Bjergsen managed to get a good ult off or not. We saw the one fight they lost on Baron was because double got popped. And anytime that someone didn't get popped like that, TSM seemed like they were able to win the fights.
Yeah, they really make it look easy when it all comes together. But
TSM 第一场差点就输了，
Alright, so adjustments
最后是靠那波巴龙前面就是 ace 掉，整个追击打完 ace 掉 immortal， 然后直接把主宝推了。不然他们刚刚在之前有一个就是比较不好的 initiation， 差点把比赛给送给 immortals。
Maybe this is their game, and you also have to say they were fighting an uphill battle with 0 dragon control. So you know, maybe being able to try to at least contest some of those earlier dragons, or you could say they even got a little bit unlucky with the triple inferno. But either way, this is close. It's competitive. I think they just need to clean it up a little bit.
我看我应该是我等一下就去上班了，应该是没有办法，就是讲到第2场讲多少，好难过哦。不过我要先去准备一下，嘿，我等一下再回来。
He's going to position aggressively no matter what. At least give him one with a little bit more playmaking than the GP potential.
Or maybe more health.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
All right, well, game 2 is on the way, but first we've got a sneak peek of Vin Diesel's new movie, XXX, Return of Xander Cage.
You know, they say the world is safer than it's ever been in the history of civilization. Do you feel safer today than you did yesterday? I know I don't. The world has changed. The war we're fighting today needs a different kind of soldier. We need people with the skills and the attitude to take on threats we don't even know exist.
We need someone who can walk into a tornado and come out the other side like it was a damn gentle breeze.
Get on your knees! If you wanted me back, you could have just asked me. Let me simplify it for you. Kick some ass and try to look dope while you're doing it. I could definitely make that work.
Guns, girls, global domination. Xander Cage is back.
哎呀，还有2分钟。我刚把那个困扰我的痘痘给解决掉。哎。趁着现在这时候来关心一下有多少人在看好了，应该是没有啦。一个正在观看是我自己嘛，我就觉得这是我自己的。就是一个自嗨的节奏。没这个。啊，不能用 Master Layer， 所以代表说我可能没有办法那个。对啊，这个 Source 可能没有办法。
Welcome back, everybody, to the Battle Arena. In Game 1, Immortals and TSM clashed for 38 minutes, culminating in a brutal final battle at Baron that pushed TSM to victory. And I think we're going to see that again. The teams may still be flustered. I'm not sure what this downtime between games has done for them. Hopefully a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to come up with, you know, what went on in that game and why were they making these weird decisions. We talked about before, and we've had so much content leading up to this matchup where Immortals feel like they have something to prove in this match, taking down TSM, because they got beat last time. And that's got to be affecting their decision-making. It looked like at the beginning they were holding back a little, but then they were overextending a lot, especially Huni, who is going to be one of the players that we look at in that type of play.
Yeah. Exactly. And we also have to remember that all those fights were around very important objectives at pivotal moments of the game, and the teams didn't want to give those objectives up. So it's not like these weird drawn-out fights were happening all that randomly. It just so happened that Immortals were the ones that over-pushed on multiple occasions, and I think that could speak a little bit to them trying to prove themselves, whereas TSM was playing from a point for most of the match.
Definitely kind of re-emphasizes that it's not all offense. There is a big, strong element of defense that you have to have in not only your single play with.
我们现在讲 ban 角，就是那个TSM ban 的蓝宝就是针对 Huni 的哦，然后雷克萨就很正常，然后 Immortal 这边选择是策略性 ban 角 ban 下圣跟就是打野非常强势的奈德利。虽然说雷克萨还是比较强一点，但奈德利也是就是 NA 很喜欢玩。上一场 TSM ban 的唢呐哦，所以唢呐在那个改版之后，就他有稍微做一点就是跟动，就是其实我是比较喜欢那种玩唢呐，像我以前我玩唢呐的时候都会出48 CDR， 然后就是让这个我的招式的 CD 都变很短，然后一直补血啊、攻击干嘛的。那他现在唢呐这个跟动之后，就变成说就是它是符合他把 CD 时间改更短，所以唢呐更是符合这种打法。
necessarily trade back for it.
所以这应该就是，所以现在就是有唢呐就是胜率现在很高，就是真的变得还不错玩，这样连看起来连这个职业赛也是，大家就是开始注意到这个角色。
Give up 2 big picks though for taking that silver as well. Is it something you decide to?
突然觉得我现在不能讲太多，不然到时候我影片里面没得讲。
And they say no, we don't. Actually, not right away at least. Not right away. So they go for the Hecker room now, leaving that up. We'll see what Immortals answers with. They have the chance to get that Sivir and whatever.
我是连续2场都选赫克林呢。算了，我不要讲太多，我要把一些那个东西留着那个，不然我等下那个影片也重复讲好了。
Malzahar is going to be what they first pick up. Definitely don't disagree with that because Malzahar is so strong in this stage of the game. Mentioning champions that are strong on this patch though, Jat, Sona is extremely strong on this patch as well.
Ban last game.
We do have to note that last week it was the non-hotfix version of Sona, so this is slightly weaker than it was in the week prior, but still, in my opinion, insane on this patch. And this is defying expectations a little bit for me because of the bans in the first game versus their priority.
也是 Immortal 连选2场。
Set up Immortals for potentially a very strong laning phase. Another one of those.
那上一场被 ban 哦，这场出来，我觉得不会选斯温哦，这边 TSM 应该是只是选爽的，就亮爽的。
Also have to keep it in the back of your mind that
这第二阵这边应该还是会选麒麟。
You know, this could very well be a solo lane Hecarim. You definitely would expect that more from the likes of Immortals and Huni, but it is on the board. Man, so many power picks back to TSM after the Malzahar Sona lineup.
As well as possibly another flex in that Karma as well.
Yeah, it's actually really crazy to me because I was expecting some of those to be first picked, and stuff like a Sivir Karma has so commonly just been picked right away by the red team. Just Sivir Karma, super non-committal, you have a bunch of move speed, it's a strong lane, but TSM actually gets it on this side of the draft, which to me is extremely surprising.
It's also just a super strong lane in itself, like very dynamic here from the TSM side. See what they round it out with, because Immortals.
卡玛上一场是被 Immortal ban 掉，不想要 Battle Frost
了。
哦，是纳尔诶。
Prioritizing that chrono shift as well as the speed up for this team. Got to go fast on the side of TSM in that engage. What's it going to be? Could see an Aurelia coming out from Huni. Strong pick for him. Immortals is going to take their time on this one. Knowing things.
这 A 选又亮这个衣服领，烦死了。
They said calm down.
这么矮。
We go in and play our game again. TSM controlled a lot of the objectives here, and with the speed of this comp, they'll be able to get to those very fast once again this game.
Yeah, TSM will definitely have a lot of move speed to create an incredibly threatening Hecarim, but Immortals will also have a lot more initiation ability in this game. Last game, they had a lot of range damage that could kind of push TSM around. Here, they have really cold initiation.
潘肯奇。
Who's Tom Kench?
No， 还是双路潘肯奇。
So yeah, while Immortals do have, you know,
大家是很开心啊，就呼你自己很淡定。
Malzahar and Gragas as well to disrupt things. Speed can also be used not just to buff up Hecarim, but to disengage as well. So as we saw in the last game, these teams were pretty hesitant to fully commit to fights. And maybe in the early stages, we'll probably see that again. And TSM definitely have the options with Zillion, Sivir, and Karma all on the same team to go incredibly fast.
Yeah, it's a speed team, and I don't necessarily see where the Tom Kench comes in.
所以我觉得这场 TSM 应该会打一个就逼塔的，然后快速转线的那个战术，还有吉林、七尾跟卡玛，我们曾经看过 TSM 拿出这样的阵容。
But just seeing Huni on Tom Kench is really weird because. Even when he plays tank champions, he kind
这个汤肯奇应该会被风筝拉打到死吧
You build health on Tom Kench and you get damage.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll see. We've seen Huni do quite a lot. Maybe he goes outside his boundary this time. Show us something different as we get into game 2. Immortals is going to have to punch back even harder this time. They were able to do it the first times these teams met up. And bring it to a game 3. That's what we want to see here today for the match of the week. Immortals versus TSM. And TSM are looking at game point, new comps, same map. Beautiful action coming at us in just a few seconds. And it's going to be just as good. TSM now on the blue side, Immortals on the red. We're on the rift. And we're into game 2.
Also happy to point out that if TSM win this game, they lock down the #1 seed in the regular season, guaranteed. Which means they will have side choice in the majority of.
这个 IMT 的选角是比较奇葩一点，也许会出一些就是有奇效也不一定。我这边进那个。 哈，这两个人在打招呼。
Don't be the first to mess it up and land the auto.
That's the face Huni made when P1 actually took the game.
他抽插一只眼，不知道有没有被发现哦。
TSM.
Oh man,
the BM, just keep him there.
两边都还蛮就是有运动家精神的，都没有攻击对方。
Huni's the hypno toad. Honestly, though, if we return to the Tom Kench, one of the biggest thing actually to me with the recent changes that they made to him, where you know they moved the scaling a little bit earlier there on the passive health damage, but the ultimate goes so much quicker. And I like Tom Kench's ability to make cross-map plays and make surprise plays now. Because he can bring someone really quickly, you know, him and Rainover are the duo you always talk about with Immortals. I would like to see Huni come up with some, you know, flank plays with Tom Kench or something.
现在唢呐这个偶尔好，哇，好广哦。
Very true. That is probably the thing that Huni would try and get out of that. It will be really hard though for Tom Kench and Agragas to.
后半程这边直接灭死2只兵，尴尬。吉利好像也灭死了2只。
But it's gonna require some really precise execution for that to work.
Standard lanes.
这个是吃双十吗
？So Adrian still favoring sustain, obviously going to help them get a little bit of back and forth in this. But I'm excited to see what they put against each other because Doublelift always wants this with Biofrost.
现在比较少那种，就是因为大家都会，比如说吃东西推线啊，所以哇，这个漂亮，两边烧到。
Track these junglers as Svenskaren's going with a pretty interesting route on Hector.
比较不会上抢2，然后暴打对方一波，比较难做的。
Get it as quickly as possible and getting very fast double buffs here. Malzahar's not pushed up though. He's not a gank opportunity. Neither is the bottom lane. So it would only be the possibility of getting vision for your mid lane or vision for a counter gank for him. As of right now, Hecarim would be very happy just to continue to farm here in the early stages. On Hecarim, you never want to waste blue buff duration. So now he can go back to Gromp, kill that, and then go over to the Wolves to respawn. Okay, Crab first, then Gromp, then Wolves.
Yeah, he's just trying to loop as best as possible, right? Because if he actually stays out long enough, there's a chance he could continue to farm throughout the rest of the jungle, and especially if Rainover isn't ganking him, it's beneficial. But with these standard lanes, the early pressure bar that Rainover could potentially give could be massive.
It's risky against a jungler like Gragas, who is a playmaker. So that means you have to have confidence in your lanes to survive with their flashes. If everybody knows that
哇，这个 poke 也是蛮强，但是
they can blow their flashes
W 像没抹
on an enemy game, and not sustain damage in the lane either.
唢呐的魔力还行，这补血有够多的。
And give you a side to rely on.
I really have to credit the TSM lane right now because they were a full 7 CS up on the Ashe and the Sona this early in the game.
This is why this is such a strong lane here with the Sivir Karma. You get wave control so easily with Sivir, and then Karma can free with constant spamming of mantra Qs. Here goes Rainover's first attempt, but it is over a ward. Flash for flash.
这个不错。
Burn those things early.
Yep, Rainover will still have his flash if he goes to make a return.
不然他这个被缓到的话，酒桶一个闪度闪上来就应该就要爆炸。
Play is going to push Adrian out of the bottom as well.
这没有打到。
Biofrost now with that level 6.
哇，成功背得到。
Pobelter flashes everything.
哇
！Along with Pobelter, first blood.
Completely baited right there. Pobelter, that was abnormal for him actually to go for something like that.
We just saw Bjergsen actually taking a lot of damage from Pobelter. He was actually accepting those spells, so maybe pulled him into that false sense of security.
They made it way too easy. Bjergsen won the CS war a little bit in game 1. He was winning it by a bit more here in game 2, and like it didn't look like there was kill threat. Rainover was nowhere close. Like that was a greedy trade play by Pobelter, and he gets punished for it because Bjergsen was very well communicating with Svenskeren and just he made that gank easy for him.
And the thought where you can maybe get Bjergsen's teleport, it costs you your own life. Both summoners down for Pobelter now, so he's got to play even more scared against double bombs from Bjergsen. And we see Adrian getting back to lane. Looks like he actually stayed in that previous back. So they could try to catch up on CS down there.
Yeah, man, that was a very big mistake from Pobelter because not only did he lose the first blood money for the team, but there was a big wave pushing into the turret. Now he's going to be behind on experience as well as gold to Bjergsen, and while Zillion's not the type of mid lane champion that's going to start to completely smash you, and he just buys catalysts, there's no more advantage for Immortals in mid lane. He can't push them in
这吉林得要，如果优势再扩大的话，那个炸弹会超痛。
Even though Immortals is the team with the jungler who has more early game presence, they're getting pushed in all lanes, and Reignover hasn't been able to help. And Svenskeren was the one to get the first blood. Like, this is actually a pretty dire situation for Immortals this early on, and I think they're going to have to make some relatively proactive decisions fairly soon to prevent this series from just being a quick 2-0 for TSM.
Definitely a good point to bring up, because First Blood on Hecarim feels so good. You get your Trinity Force even like a minute earlier. It's insane. You actually can just take over the whole game.
Hooney's in trouble. He has no flash.
Very nice hop ultimate there. Pretty much throws it back. This was Pobelter going down now to the top lane as they go ring around the Rosie, and it's going to be Hooney.
这个人马日出，人马直接出，他拿到 first blood 直接出一个那个小木锤，天哪！
I've never seen in competitive play the jungle a handoff to the jungler.
It almost looked like they were doing it there, actually.
It was close, but yeah, you know, Hunter, they do want him to have the one-on-one advantage. He already has it over Hooney, and now it's just going to become more difficult for Hooney, even to CS now, because Nara is so oppressive.
Yeah, and both of those ganks actually just came out of over-aggression from Hooney and Pobelter. I really wonder what the carryover effect of the end of that last game has, because Immortals may think that they threw that game at Baron, and that could be tilting them a little bit mentally, because those two solo lane plays are very uncharacteristic for Immortals. They didn't have the proper pressure to punish a jungler gank at the right time. There was no counter ganking going on. Reignover wasn't counter jungling and setting up a dive elsewhere. They were really just unnecessary, unforced errors that TSM was able to capitalize on, and that gives a very early 1,800 gold lead for TSM.
And I feel like that's Immortals kind of following a precedence they set for themselves. They're usually able to win each fight. You look back at those moments, and Hooney's teleporting into some pretty odd positions. The team has to scramble to get to that. Usually they can win them. Against TSM, those kind of plays fizzle out a little bit.
So Reignover here, by the way, the reason he's doing this, they had...
哇，这个虚弱必须要下。
Well, the reason he's doing this, they were
可是实在是有点白下。
that Svenskeren went in and took his red quadrant because of the play he just made top. That's the most common next step. This one is going to be over a ward and dive. Double's going to have a good spell shield here.
Reignover waddling in, hits Biofrost back. The cast also silences him out.
哇，漂亮！
Dirksen got the ult off.
Yep, it's on it. He can get back into the fight. Get the monster shield on for the
哦，这个
hit, but everybody was hit by the crescendo in the back line. Now they're trying to catch up from home.
这场应该 GG 了。
And they are able to capitalize on the kills. When is Double knocked off?
哦，啊，成功带走一只哪？
And TSM comes up huge in the bot lane.
That is a tilter, man. The teleport revive from Bjergsen gets in there just in time to save Biofrost. And the huge turnaround there from Haunter as well. Mega at the perfect time, gets the sun, extra kills, end of the Inferno, best snowballing Drake. TSM are out to a huge lead in game number 2 of the series, looking to make it a 2-0.
Specifically because it was also Immortals who made the initial investment to make that play and had it backfire. So that was actually the moment where Immortals was hoping to equalize the gold, and it only shoots them farther backwards. Look how low Turtle and Adrian are at the beginning of this gank. I think that's very key. And they go for Biofrost, but watch the timing on this ultimate from Bjergsen. It's instant as soon as he comes in. That allows them to get the stun onto Pobelter afterwards. Haunter then took a forward teleport position, gets a 3-man ultimate with 1-man stun, kills Turtle, and he dies after the flash. Like, everything that could go wrong went wrong in this play for Immortals, but TSM are playing it so well, and now we will get to see if TSM can close out for a quick and decisive victory against a 15-1 Immortals team.
That's a question, right? When you have a lead, are you playing to the level of the team you're playing against, or are you going to continue to push the advantage? Are you going to be able to do better? Because on the international stage, those teams are going to push and do better. They won't just play to the level of the team they're against.
Last game was pretty close and many moments.
Absolutely.
But this game, even though it's just a single one here, is starting to bring up that question of, oh, you know, we were assuming North American LCS had a tier above all the rest of the teams, and it was Immortals and TSM. TSM looking to shove Immortals off of that pedestal.
Yep.
They said statement game before playoff.
That's exactly what it is. TSM said statement. Immortals said they're trying to get back on that from last year.
This is Double Lift's message that he wanted to send.
哎呦，这个哇，还有大绝哦，还好哇，糟糕，拜拜。哦呦，还有哦，有吉林大绝，我忘记有哇，天哪，忘记有吉林大绝啦！我想说哇，这个。
Yeah, but to pull that play off, they had to use Turtle and Rainovers as well.
他刚差点把自己送掉呢。
Yeah, a little bit of restraint held by them there as well. You saw a pink ward on the tri-brush when they were thinking about a dive. Turns out, Rainover was there, and they were able to peel off properly. Can never count Immortals completely out of the game, though. Against so many other teams, they're able to just make play after play and keep the wave pressure going. That's what's so killer about this game is that TSM has the wave control, so it's that much more difficult for Immortals to set up plays.
Yeah, and that's always a rough thing when Tom Kench or the likes of Echo or something like that are using their ultimates just to get back to lane to farm minions so they can get more experience rather than trying to use that ability to create a big play to get back into the game. Mortals are going to try and lick their wounds right now and try and regroup and come up with a plan. It's something that is really, really important mid-game in League of Legends is not to tilt. I said, that bottom lane play, that's something that could possibly send people off the deep end and become very kind of depressed even. But you have to stay focused in the game and try and regroup. There are so many options. There's only 12 minutes. And you have to stay positive and look for the openings to try and get back. Yes, it's going to be difficult.
其实也是顶那不少啊。
I see a ward.
哇。
He also sees a problem now that'll slow Sven's Garen. They don't have too good of warding around here, so
哇，这个也太 等级是一样的，但是这人马很凶啊。
Little things always playing in the favor of TSM here. Now Rainover has to wait. The team really wants an engage, and you may just lose a buff for it.
Quite an aggressive move here by Sven's Garen though, but with the
这个中上都压进去，所以没事。
Doesn't have smite, but
yeah, it's a super bad feeling as a jungler when the game gets to the point where you have no lane control. You can see why TSM are free to do that. Haunter shoving Huni in mid lane. TSM Bjergsen was able to shove Pobelter in as well.
They actually want to dive.
So it was free.
我酒桶没大绝哦。
That's Rainover over the wall.
还好有大绝。
That means Haunter's going to come up nice and fat for this fight.
可是他应该死掉了。
It's going to be Booty going down, trading back and forth.
没有很好。
Gets out. Still quite
Astro's on the way.
哎呦，艾希线哦。
Oh, the flash is there. Haunter can still get a quick jump out of this one as he's silenced right off the bat. That's going to be Haunter going down.
刚那个dive 有点不必要。
Adrian Chu, he's all the way from base.
I don't know if you have the deeps for this, but he's going to hold him in place.
That's the slow. Bjergsen used Chrono Shift.
That's why you have to stay focused mid-game, even when things are
可是这样下塔应该可以换掉下二塔吧？可以吗？这样上路送3个头有点太cocky。
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to do it. The bottom lane second tier turret is safe, the mid lane turret is safe, and then Immortals walks out of this with 3 kills. The 4,000 gold lead is shaved by about 1,000 right there, and it's not going to bring them back in the game, but it's definitely a start, and the counter to what TSM was trying to do to just basically end the game was right here.
Yeah, coming back into a game like this is a step-by-step process. One step in front of the other. First step here is an overstep, honestly, from TSM.
Yeah.
And they go for the dive. It is pretty risky because they saw Rainover in the area previously. He goes for the great flash slam. That gets out
Notice how both of Bjergsen's bombs failed to do damage right there. He was trying to zone it between the turret, but the giant Tom Kench model somehow navigated around with Huni controlling it. Rainover had the 3-man stun. Burning the flash there.
这是 support 用上，哎啊，他现在太专心在看，他没有看到 support 用上来，他应该要看到的。
No escape.
Enables this one here, comes in to hold him in place. First stop the recall. And Rainover's going to go finish up this dive, as you know. Meanwhile, though, because they spent the time diving for that champion, they weren't able to kill off the turret. So there still is every single outer turret standing for TSM right now. That does mean that if Mortals make another play and they have control of the map, they can get a lot of global gold to try and come back into this. But Haunter's making quick work of Huni.
Yeah, this is pretty...
Eat him and throw him under the turret.
Scary.
Eat him and throw him under the turret. Oh, he loses the hits. The passive is there. He could get taken down here by Turtle as it wears off. Haunter comes back from the dead and he's sent right back to the
That's a bait right there.
差一点哦，他我觉得不能算bait哦。
Talk about the baits. Svenskeren very deep as well. Got those turrets heating up, so they got to be careful about the resulting dive.
Teleport from Huni.
Flash forward onto Bjergsen. Chrono shift.
哇，这是在干嘛？乱打！
themselves in a dangerous spot to help back Bjergsen here. And TSM is getting all
哇，艾希死掉了。
Voyage coming through, but it's a short one. And TSM looks like to be able to make the distance necessary.
Step number 2 here for Immortals. They make it on the top side. Then step number 3 is another aggressive move from TSM.
TSM 打什么鬼啊？莫名其妙哎。
And they're getting right back in this.
Yes, but also some weird mistakes.
看着
Wild
鲁
Turtle
萨萨
got
呢。
executed by the top lane turret, while Immortals was actually coming back in this game. So that's a thing.
What help
Definitely a lot. He was just taking damage. I went back and watched it.
You got to confuse him, Jack.
Maybe one day we'll get
Watching
replay
mid,
because
looking
there's
for
a
an
lot
arrow,
of
probably.
really important things that were happening in that fight as well. And aside from that, Immortals is actually coming back in this game. Like the things that TSM needs to do to execute are a little bit too hasty.
这有点打得太乱七八糟了。
When they didn't snowball their minor advantage from game 1, and it's meaning they're pushing slightly too hard.
Yeah, your point about bringing up mistakes is more valid than just the Wild Turtle solo dying to a turret. Also, the entire series of events mid lane from TSM was kind of another misplayed power dive that really cost them. Going after very healthy target.
这边不算是 bait 哦，就是这边是打起来他根本走不掉，所以我不认同主播讲，这边不是 bait， 这边是 AD 过来救了他。
Right before the Gnar ultimate, so he's able to keep Huni alive. Then Wild Turtle actually stays incredibly close with his flash to get the finish, and then TSM, because there were 3 people top lane, think, okay, let's dive. So they just kind of go all in. But remember, they can't get the CC on a Pobelt because of his passive, so he has to aim for Rainover, and he actually misses.
Yep, Rainover able to body slam and negate the damage from the charge there of Hecarim. And then here, they, again, punish that overextension in the dive under the turret. Because Tom Kent, like we talked about, very quick ultimate. Huni gets there, brings the party. There you go. There literally, he wasn't staying to finish off the turret. He was just looking mid lane. Sometimes you get caught up in the action.
Yeah, he wanted to see, he fired an arrow at some point. He's like, I want to help 2 guys. Maybe he hawk-shotted. You could hawk-shot to technically try to cut off a retreat.
It makes sense. You're looking at a fight. Your screen's blinking red. You're in the fight, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do also kind of want to point out the impact Adrian is having on this game.
这场本来以为刚下路那个1换4 TSM 这场稳了，结果他自己把他打成这样。
He put 2 early points into his E, which a lot of times Sona would almost always go Q and W, but he is valuing so much his ability to just make rotations on the map and make sure Immortals is fast. And I actually think it's working.
Trying to keep up with the Zillion Sivir karma is a tall task, but trying to lend as much speed as he possibly can.
Pretty crazy, but he's basically just using it on cooldown every time he runs out of base.
I mean, yeah, coming out of base, pretty free. Yep. Generate that mana, no problem. All right, let's see. What's the next move here for Immortals? Because now they've been able to close that once large lead that TSM had in the early game, you know, at least as far as the gold is concerned, chopped it back down. So now they're within the range where they can take fights again on even footing. Yes, TSM still have these Drakes, but the Drakes aren't going to mean a tremendous amount as far as the fights that they do look for. It's much more about the setup here, and TSM are making a strong push, calling Svenskeren up to try and take the turret as well.
Yeah, maybe TSM pushes for another.
好吧，我差不多要出门了。
Ward covered is actually pretty great for Immortals.
直播就玩到这样吧，
with their composure from within this game.
蛮好玩的。之后再看要不要继续玩好了，蛮有趣的。我再关心一下有多少人在看，好，没有人在看，应该是只有我自己。
Fighting back to this state is super impressive.
谢谢大家，拜拜。我等关掉哦。这是啥？好吧，英雄我还哎我赶快看一下，看一下这个。哦，成功杀掉艾希尔，哇，这个有点漂亮，我还要死吗？ Nice.
And they come out of that one practically unscathed.
Those Zillion dives, man. The revival actually almost timed out on Svenskeren. It was a little bit risky there, but he still had to